very good morning and welcome to Athavan newspaper highlights. Today is Saturday, 24th of September 2016. This is Edward Udedas, the Vasagayam Pillai with the highlights of today's English newspapers. Firstly, let's have a look on the Daily Mirror. The main headline says, International goodwill towards Sri Lanka. Outcome of US presidential poll won't affect US policy on Sri Lanka. President Maithripala Sirisena said yesterday the world leaders whom he met on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly sessions in New York had a good impression of Sri Lanka and expressed goodwill towards the positive changes introduced by his government to restore democracy and good governance and bring about reconciliation. Prices of 47 heart and diabetes drugs to be reduced. 45 years after the revered Professor Senaka Bibili introduced the National Medicine Drugs Policy to make quality drugs available at affordable prices, Health Minister Rajitha Senaratne yesterday introduced a pricing formula to reduce drug prices. Lankan in Kuwait arrested over inappropriate touch. A Sri Lankan expatriate in Kuwait was arrested for touching a Kuwait woman inappropriately, even though he claimed that he was just giving her a handshake as a way of greeting her. Taranjit Singh Sandhu is India's new High Commissioner to Sri Lanka. The Indian government has appointed Taranjit Singh Sandhu as the next High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. The main headline says, Customs work to rule called off. Finance Ministry to hold talks on new customs ordinance. The customs unions called off their work to rule protest yesterday as the Finance Ministry agreed to discuss the new customs ordinance with them. All Ceylon Customs Services Union Secretary J.A. Gunathilaka told the Daily News they had received a written letter from the Finance Ministry assuring them that discussions on the new ordinance would be based on amendments to the existing customs ordinance. Earlier, they were preparing a completely new customs ordinance by repealing the old one, but they have now invited us for discussions to amend the old customs ordinance. This was what we asked. Beating of 6-year-old girl goes viral. Stepmother, father arrested. Kopai police on Thursday arrested the stepmother and father of a 6-year-old girl in Kopai after a viral video on social media showed the stepmother mercilessly beating the girl for not wanting to have a bath. The inquiry was held yesterday and the child is to be soon transferred to the care of probation officers who would then place her in a safe home temporarily. It is learned that a children's home would be recommended as the best option for the child. A government officer handling the case said the mother had 3 other children and was suspected to be mentally unsound. The father had married her after his first wife and the mother of the 6-year-old passed away. The case, however, threw light on the need for a uniform child protection system in the country. Sri Lanka maintains the lowest HIV or AIDS prevalence in Southeast Asia. Sri Lanka still maintains the lowest HIV or AIDS prevalence in Southeast Asia, which is less than 0.01. Sri Lanka cannot be satisfied and rest because this is a result of hard working which should continue, strengthen and expanded, Health Services Director General Dr. Palitha Mahibala said. BIA to enhance passenger handling capacity. The Bandaranaike International Airport will be developed to handle a further 9 million passengers per annum, aiming to cater to the ever-increasing passenger volume in the region, Airport and Aviation Services Limited Chairman Saman Edrivira said. Finally, let's move to Ceylon today. The main headline says, $1.5 billion loan. IMF withholds fund. Non-implementation of higher VAT the cause. The IMF's second tranche of $168.1 million will not be disbursed until the enhancement of the VAT rate is authorized by Parliament. This was indicated to reporters by IMF's mission chief to Sri Lanka, Yau Lee, at a media conference in Colombo yesterday. Government's bid to increase the VAT rate by 4 percentage points to 15% was twice stalled by the Supreme Court recently, which said government had not following proper procedures when forwarding such a bill to the legislature. Mahinda-led political alliance soon. Joint opposition Ratnapura District MP Vasudeva Nanayakara said once the green light is given by the Elections Commission to register political parties, a broad new political alliance will be formed, headed under the leadership of Joe and SLFP Kurunagala District MP Mahinda Rajapaksa. He said the name and symbol of the new political alliance were currently being debated by the MPs in the jaw and added that once a final decision is reached, it will be announced to the country. Lasantha murder. CID probes type of gun. The Criminal Investigation Department currently conducting investigations into the murder of Sunday leader editor Lasantha Wickramatunge are attempting to find out the type of firearm used by the killers. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan Newspaper Highlights.